Good evening. You're watching an NDTV special on the day when we saw Narendra Modi and his newfound clout being reflected today as he was inducted into the BJP's parliamentary board, and what is being seen is setting the stage for a bigger national role for the Gujarat Chief Minister. He is in fact the only Chief Minister on two key party panels, pipping Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan in a race in which Narendra Modi appeared to have had the advantage after his hat-trick in Gujarat. Modi's stamp was also visible in other appointments announced today, with his aide Amit Shah becoming a General Secretary in the team, an appointment seen as controversial by many. So is this the beginning of a new chapter for the party? And what about some of the old guard who seem to have been left behind? Rahul Srivastava has more.
The BJP has played its card. Narendra Modi has been given the most preferred person status. His appointment to the BJP's top body places him ahead of the other BJP chief ministers and among the tallest in the party. The post is a special purpose vehicle, a launch pad for turning him into the BJP's political face for 2014.
जनता चाह रही है कि नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री के कैंडिडेट बने.
It's the party president's new team, but has a fair share of Modi men. Amit Shah, key accused in the Sohrabuddin fake encounter, found a place in the team as he's a Modi man. Balbir Punj is a vice president now. He was the first 2 years ago to trigger a Modi for PM chant. Smriti Irani, shifted from the BJP's women's wing, is now a vice president. But the macro picture tells another story, that it's the RSS which has dictated the team. In December, Rajnath was picked by the RSS. Modi's selection and elevation was led by the RSS. The return of Hindutva is dictated by the RSS. Uma Bharti of the Babri Masjid demolition fame is backed by the RSS. RSS pet Nitin Gadkari's men have been retained. And Modi's development mascot image will be bolstered by a big slice of Hindutva.
हमारे सामने रास्ते खुले हैं, विधेयक लाने का रास्ता खुला है, कोर्ट का रास्ता खुला है और आपस में बातचीत का रास्ता खुला है. अगर आप मुझसे पूछें तो मैं मानूंगी कि आपस में बातचीत का रास्ता सबसे सुंदर है.
Backed by the RSS demand for third-gen BJP leaders, Rajnath Singh has elevated Varun Gandhi too. He is being looked as an asset against the Congress's Rahul Gandhi, courtesy the famous surname.
गांधी परिवार की जंग नहीं हो सकती है. गांधी जहाँ नाम जुड़ा होता स्वाभाविक प्रमुखता मिलती है, चाहे बीजेपी में हो चाहे कांग्रेस में हो, तो गांधी परिवार का लाभ तो मिलेगा ही.
The other sign that the Sangh managed the list is the exclusion of Yashwant Sinha and Jaswant Singh. It's no coincidence, as both have opposed RSS control. And their tirade led to the exit of RSS man Nitin Gadkari.
अर्जुन मुंडा जी को झारखंड से वहाँ केंद्रीय टीम में स्थान मिलता तो झारखंड के लोग प्रसन्न होते, खुश होते. भाग्यवश एक सांसद भी हूँ, वहाँ पर बड़ी बड़ी जिम्मेदारियाँ हैं, अपने क्षेत्र की जिम्मेदारी है और बहुत काम मेरे जिम्मे है जिसको मैं निभाने का लगातार प्रयास करता रहा हूँ, आगे भी करता रहूँगा.
With Modi in the BJP's top team, politics is going to change course. The BJP has signalled to the JDU that despite its pressure, Modi may be the face of the party. By not fully anointing Modi, the BJP is hinting it doesn't want the NDA to split now.
और वो तो कल की बात है. आज की बात तो जो है कि अभी हमारे सामने कोई दिक्कत नहीं. कल की कौन जानता है.
The list went through several rounds of discussions and amendments, as factions pulled Rajnath Singh in different distractions, including the demand for the inclusion of Shivraj Chauhan and Raman Singh. But now that list is out, the factions will get busy. L.K. Advani, Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley and Nitin Gadkari still nurse prime ministerial aspirations. Top job aspirants will polarize the cadres. Publicly, L.K. Advani is batting for Sushma Swaraj. RSS dictates will be opposed. It is due to this turf war that the Sangh Parivar stopped short of handing over the baton to Modi, even though the party knows that with the UPA in disarray, its numbers shaky, the time to make Modi its political face is perhaps now. With Rahul Srivastava, Amitabh Revi, NDTV.
And time now, of course, for the NDTV special. Barkha is with us, with, of course, a very special panel this evening. Hi, Barkha, you've seen these changes. Some, of course, we had reported, there's been so much speculation around them. But now, what does it really signal? Modi firmly in charge, but they still seem to be shying away from his anointment in the real sense ahead of the general elections.
Well, Natasha, the big picture that I think emerges from this list is that Narendra Modi is now de facto the top boss in the BJP hierarchy. His imprint is everywhere. He is the only chief minister of the BJP. There's no Shivraj Singh Chauhan, there's no Raman Singh to find place on the parliamentary board, a board to which he returns after 6 years. Ironically, it was Rajnath Singh who first inducted him in and then 6 years ago and then dropped him from that board. Well, Modi comes back to that board. He also comes back as a member of the Central Election Committee. And along with that, look at some of the others who've made it to this hierarchy. Amit Shah, a contentious, probably the most contentious induction, right-hand man of Narendra Modi, somebody who is facing all sorts of charges in a fake encounter case. Smriti Irani considered close to Narendra Modi, Balbir Punj considered close to Narendra Modi. So I think what you're seeing is the BJP stopping short of making him the prime ministerial candidate or the chairman of that election panel, but certainly that imprint of Narendra Modi everywhere. The other interesting thing, of course, is the return of the prodigals. Varun Gandhi is back as General Secretary and somebody like Uma Bharti is back as Vice President. In fact, she's somebody who once stormed out of the party and she's among those who on this special panel today, as we look at the big message of the BJP, will be speaking to us. Uma Bharti speaking to me earlier from Madhya Pradesh today. Uma Bharti, Vice President now of the BJP, the same impetuous sannyasin who once stormed out of the party, now back in a key role. Uma ji, congratulations of course are in order, लेकिन did you expect this? आपको क्या उम्मीद थी कि आप Vice President बन के वापस आएंगे?
मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ राजनाथ जी की, अडवाणी जी की, नितिन गडकरी जी की और रामलाल जी की कि उन्होंने मुझको इस योग्य समझा है और मैं पार्टी में इस दायित्व के बाद में इस बात को लेके बहुत सतर्क हूं कि जो काम मुझे सौंपा गया है उसको मैं पूरी गंभीरता के साथ में करूं और मैं किसी को भी इस बारे में निराश ना करूं।
जी, और उमा जी, माना जा रहा है कि ये जो टीम है अब ये एक टीम बीजेपी नहीं, टीम राजनाथ सिंह नहीं, ये अब एक टीम नरेंद्र मोदी हो गई है। नरेंद्र मोदी 2 पैनल्स पे आए हैं, पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड और जो सेंट्रल इलेक्शन पैनल है, उनके करीबी जो माने जाते हैं अमित शाह, वो भी एक जनरल सेक्रेटरी बन गए हैं। एज ए सीनियर बीजेपी लीडर, क्या आप मानेंगी दैट दिस इज इन अ सेंस टीम नरेंद्र मोदी और द बिगिनिंग ऑफ टीम नरेंद्र मोदी?
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पैदा किया जनसंघ के समय से अडवाणी जी ने और अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने। अडवाणी जी और अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी 2 ऐसी बड़ी शख्सियत रहे हैं जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए और जनसंघ के लिए और देश की राजनीति के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रहे। अब नई पीढ़ी को उनकी छत्र छाया में आगे आना होगा, उन्हीं की छाया में आगे बढ़ना भी होगा और इसलिए नए नेतृत्व को भी आना होगा, नई टीम को भी आना होगा। और मुझे लगता है कि जो ये जो टीम है जिसमें कि लोग आए हैं, इसमें किसका प्रभाव है या किसका नहीं है ये तो मैं नहीं कह सकती हूँ, लेकिन हाँ, मैं नरेंद्र मोदी के बारे में एक बात कह सकती हूँ। मैं पिछले 1-2 महीने से इस चीज़ का अध्ययन कर रही थी कि ये प्रेशर मीडिया बना रहा है या ये लोगों के मन में है। तो संयोग से चूंकि मैं वो नेता हूं जो जनता का संपर्क छोड़ता नहीं है, मुझे लगता है कि भारतीय जनमानस के मन में नरेंद्र मोदी एक सुरक्षा का आश्वासन है और ये आश्वासन वर्षों के बाद किसी व्यक्ति के बारे में आया है और इसलिए इस दृष्टि से मैं उनको बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मानती हूं भारत की राजनीति में। जी,
उमा भारती, मुझे याद है कि 2011 की बात है, एलके अडवाणी की एक एंटी करप्शन रैली निकल रही थी थ्रू उत्तर प्रदेश। आप भी वहां थी और मैं भी वहां थी टू रिपोर्ट ऑन दैट एंटी करप्शन यात्रा ऑफ एलके अडवाणी। तब 2011 में आपने कहा था दैट एलके अडवाणी could and should be the prime ministerial candidate for the BJP. That is what you had said. इसके बारे में 2013 में आप क्या बोलेंगी? Who should be the BJP's prime ministerial candidate?
See, even now I have not mentioned that who should be the prime minister, who should not be the prime minister. Even on that day when you were present in Banaras, all I said was that this is the place where Vishwanath Pratap Singh came and he took blessings of Vishwanath Mahadev and he became prime minister. And what I told about Advani ji was that he's the one person who never hankered for prime ministership and he's the one who actually left prime ministership and he declared Atal Bihari Vajpayee to be the prime minister. Minister of Bharatiya Janata Party, and it is his greatness. But even now, when today you are asking me in 2013, even now I will say that he is the fittest person in BJP and Indian politics. He is enjoying good health. His mental status is better than even people like us, who is almost 40 years younger to him. So I don't think that because he has become above 80, so he should not be eligible for any post. But who should be the Prime Minister or who should not be the Prime Minister? I am nobody. I am not eligible to make any comment on that.